What's up everyone, I'm Joey and today I'm going to teach you how to make a small balloon garland. This takes me about 20 minutes, but will probably take you about an hour if you've never made one of these before, so it never hurts to give yourself a little bit more time for building. These small kits from Amazon are generally enough to make a garland of the size I'm making, which will probably be about 6 to 8 feet in length. If you're making a longer garland that's 12 to 16 feet, you'll probably need 2 of these kits. I've attached links to various garland kits in the video description if you're wondering which kits I prefer. Some supplies you're going to need for this build are, of course, the balloons, an electric balloon inflator, preferably with 2 inflator nozzles and adapters for the small balloons, ribbon or fishing line, command strip wall hooks, and a water source like a kitchen sink for filling up your water balloon base weight. To get started, find an electrical outlet near your setup location. Inflate 2 balloons at a time of the same color and tie them together. Do this again with the same color and connect the 2 pairs together to create a quad, which is a group of 4 balloons. For each quad, I want to inflate each balloon to a slightly different size. I'm going to use my largest balloon sizes, which will generally be large 18-inch balloons and medium-sized balloons like 10-inch and 12-inch. I'm not going to use my small 5-inch balloons until after I've constructed the length of my garland. I save the 5-inch balloons for last to add as accents. Using the medium and large sizes of balloons, I make about 10 to 15 quads. This should be enough for a 6 to 8 foot garland. Next, I'll tie my balloon ribbon to a quad. This will be my bottom quad. I'm going to add quads to my strand by looping my balloon ribbon around the next quad twice, pulling the ribbon tight as I go. I want my garland to be a long strand, so I'm going to continue adding quads in the same place so that I'm making my garland strand longer instead of making a large clump of balloons. Another helpful tip is to only loop your next quad with the quad before it. Don't go around several different quads with your balloon ribbon. This will end up messy and your quads will shift all over the place. Add 1 quad to the quad before it and secure only those 2 quads together with your ribbon as if you're stacking blocks. This will help you form the length of your strand. You will be placing the quads on top of each other, similar to if you were using all the same size balloons and building a frameless balloon column. I'll attach a link to a video tutorial for building a frameless balloon column if you're unfamiliar with that technique. When you're adding quads to the strand, a design that looks best to me is called color blocking. This means making small sections of the same color grouped together instead of randomizing the colors. Here's an example of a randomized pattern. Here's an example of color blocking. Each have their own good qualities, but for this garland, I'm going to use the color blocking design. For color blocking, you'll want to add 3 quads of the same color to your strand, then switch colors. Add 3 quads of the next color, then switch again. Repeat this until you have the length of garland that you're looking for. For the very end of my garland, I generally use 3 or 4 quads of 5-inch balloons to taper off the width of my garland so that it gets smaller and smaller until it comes to a point. Now that we have our garland length, we are going to set it up where it's meant to be. Fill up a double balloon with water to about the size of a softball and tie it to the bottom quad of your garland. This will act as your base weight and hold the garland down to the floor. Once you've weighted your base to the floor, you can either add your small 5-inch accent balloons or secure it in place. Most of the time, I secure the garland to something structural before adding my 5-inch accent balloons, but this time I'm going to add my small balloons to the garland first. I'll use the same method of making quads using my 5-inch balloons. When I've made several quads of each color using the 5-inch balloons, I'll add them to the garland strand using elastic twisting balloons. I only need to add the 5-inch balloons to the front and sides of the garland that are facing outwards because no one is going to be looking at the back of the garland that's pressed up against the wall. Use a deflated balloon twisting balloon to tie around the 5-inch balloon clusters and loop the twisting balloon around a quad of the main garland strand a few times. When adding the 5-inch accent balloons, I think it looks best to continue the color blocking design and add the same color accent balloons to the matching color on the garland. Add the small 5-inch balloon quads to fill in spaces or gaps in your garland. When you've completed adding your small balloon accents, it's time to secure your garland. Every event space is different, so you may need to improvise how you secure your garland to something structural. For me, I'm going to add a command strip wall hook to the wall and tie either my balloon ribbon or a twisting balloon to a quad of my garland and tie the other side to the wall hook to keep this garland in place. When you've secured your garland in place and added your accent balloons, you have finished your small balloon garland. If this was helpful, don't forget to like this video for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to my channel for more balloon and business tips. That's a great way to show your support. If you'd like to show your support in other ways, feel free to buy me a coffee. I always appreciate your support and encouragement in that way. You can follow me on Instagram to see what I'm up to and sign up for my weekly email newsletter for my best content sent straight to your inbox. Thanks so much for watching. Good luck on your balloon garland build. I'm Joey. I'll see you next time.